Good afternoon, everyone. This is Henry, and as we get into tonight's video newsletter, I've got a few names that I wanted to bring you, and admittedly, we've been in a couple of these for a few days, but when I go to this analysis and I try to think what are some of the best things that I can bring you from a swing-based perspective, this is what comes up. So again, these names are not necessarily on discount, but I do think that Cisco is one of the better places to look as far as a run into earnings idea. So what you try to do with this is ideally accumulate a position near the daily 21 EMA about 8 to 10 days prior to the earnings announcement. Then the anticipation, right? The idea of, maybe they will do really well on numbers. Tech has been doing pretty well here lately, so can Cisco do okay also? That anticipation drives price up. So in a perfect world, you get to flip out let's call it 7/8 of your position, right? Because you've been running that into the high implied volatility event, and then you get to hold that final eighth for hopefully a continued run up. So those earnings are due out next week. I think that pattern still has plenty of potential. I would be buying it anywhere down into 68, 67. And I think that's a name that is worth your time. Outside of that, we move over to Robinhood, which, I'll say again, it's not like, look how cheap this is and we're getting to buy the pullback. But we're looking at it on the pullback that it had last week, right? You see that flush that we had here on the 1st of August? That gets you down below the 21 EMA, but then you rally up to close right at it. So the dip is bought. And then if we look at it from swing high to swing low, do you see how you're above the 786 retracement of that move? So the way that you can kind of jot this down is that as long as we stay above this swing low, then this is the target we should be looking for. If we can get continuation, well then the 1414, the 1618, these could be extensions that follow, and I think that looks very good for Robinhood. So these are the names that I am pursuing. And then finally, a quick glance over here into TradingView, where I wanted to show you guys something a little different here in the crypto space. I know that this has been getting a lot of attention lately, and a lot of, you see it in the news quite a bit. We've talked about it back down in through here, right? Because I took some heat on this idea through this little decline. And, I say little because we started pursuing it right through here, but we weathered the storm, we saw it through, and Ethereum had a really great rally. Well, I am of the opinion that an object in motion will tend to stay in motion, and do you see that we have a fresh daily squeeze forming, right? So we are 4 dots into that signal, we're well above these volume points, and I think Ethereum is looking for at least 4,200. And then, I really don't want to put a target on it into the end of the year. But I think between those three, you can find some good swing opportunities. Again, we're in a lot of these already in the chat room. And if you're looking for more ideas on them, we'll be covering them in the weeks to come. So I hope you find these as helpful ideas. You guys have good trading. We'll see you next week in the room. Hey traders, this is Henry with simplertrading.com. I wanted to thank you for watching today's video. I hope you found it helpful. And if so, be sure to click the like and subscribe buttons down below. If you would like to also see me putting these ideas into action and trading my own account live in front of you, be sure to sign up at simplertrading.com, and I hope to see you in the chat room sometime soon.